Hey guys, Saltink here, and today I'm actually going to be doing something a little different than gaming. I actually recently joined an airsoft group, and I am now at their field. And it's not much. It's not really much of a large field or anything like that, but I like it. It's nice and simple. And today I'm actually just going to be recording with my phone. It'll be attached to my AUG. And my loadout consists of 4 bags, standard TAC, Colt C11 gas, and a Colt 1911 gas. See you guys. Alright, so the first match that we had done is actually a 5 versus 5 or 4v4, I forget. And it was single life, no respawns, and just kill the enemy. So right here I'm shooting at an enemy that I'm spotting inside of the barn there, and then again shooting one that's trying to run. I also call out to my teammates saying right side. One thing is that the recording is tilted slightly because that's the only way I was able to record. I was using a hit case. Look it up if you need to. It has mounts kind of like a GoPro, but yeah. Right here I'm about to sprint off because I'm under heavy fire. They know my position and I'd just be better off with real cover. And I'm also about to check to see if the guy I was shooting at is still over there. But with the mount I have, it's just on the side of my gun, and the side of my gun is slanted. So the video will turn out slanted as well. And right now I'm reloading. I don't really know the capacity of my mags right now, seeing as how this is the very first time I've actually gone and had an airsoft match with anyone. So I'm a very slow reloader, plus yeah, sometimes I pull it out and realize I still have more. So now right now I'm actually switching hands. I am right-handed, but for going around corners like this, it is best to try and be left-handed. And if you see right there, I nearly got hit by a BB. I pulled out just in time. And I was hit, and that was the end of my game. This was the second half of that game, and my little crappy holster that I have, it's a complete makeshift holster, so it doesn't hold either of my pistols. I managed to find a better way to hold them afterwards, and right now I'm just trying to recuperate because I dropped that and I'd lost time trying to get further in. So right now I'm just making sure that my way is clear. Now the video and sound quality isn't the best. One, because the hit case is an everything-proof case, so it pretty much also blocks a little bit of sound. But also because I have an iPhone. I don't like iPhones. So I found some better cover, but I dropped my gun again. And I stacked up with a teammate of mine. I found a nice little hole to peek through, and you guys can't see it, but I'm about to spot an enemy. off to the right a little bit. This enemy, I believe, was in a window there, and right here I decided to pick up my gun because the other one had fallen out, and I was deciding what to do with it, whether I was just going to hold it or whether I was going to try and put it back in the holster. I believe right here I am shooting with it and taking fire. And just before that, I think I was telling my teammate that, or telling my teammate the position of a couple. And I just pull my gun up so that you can see me shooting with the pistol. I kind of wish that I had a GoPro or something like that and a helmet, that way I could mount it on there and things could be seen a lot better, closer to my perspective, but I don't have the money for that yet. So after taking some fire, I decide to return fire at a spot that I believe that the enemy is at. In a few seconds, I'm going to point to where it is with my gun again. I can actually hear where they are just from their gunshots, and that dark gray statue, that dark gray thing that I'm looking at over there has one enemy laying down behind it, so it is very difficult to get him. Plus, it's extra windy, and I don't have a long-range gun. So I am at a very large disadvantage. Right now I'm debating on moving out, rushing, doing something. I picked up my gun again because, again, I lost it. And two of them are just inside, or in between those two buildings there. I attempt a tactical roll, I fail miserably, and I get shot. Okay, so this game is... I believe this is... I don't remember which game this one is. I'm thinking that this one is a single respawn. So I decided to go to the same area just because it's more familiar to me. And I spot an enemy above where the truck was, poking his head around the side. I missed all of my shots and decided to go into the barn to see if I can shoot through a window or something. And of course, seeing as how cameras don't like to be light and dark, it doesn't show you, but there was a guy in the window over there, and I was shot by him during a hail of bullets. Or, sorry, BBs. This game, I believe, is an attack and defend... No, okay. This is just the final game of just regular skirmish, team deathmatch, whatever you guys would like to call it. And again, I go to the same side because it's familiar to me. By this point, we have 3 extra team members. And I start to spot enemies over on the same side as me. So I find a nice little spot to shoot from. At this field, we are allowed to shoot from smaller holes and cracks and whatnot. I know that at most places you aren't allowed to do that, but this is just a group of friends, basically. So I've spotted a couple of enemies near a makeshift barricade that's kind of in the shape of a teepee. One of them is inside of it, another one is behind it, and I'm just hailing them with BBs, but I don't actually make a kill. And right here, I'm just reloading again, even though I haven't used up even half of the BBs in my mag. And right here, I believe I jammed. I seem to have a few issues with my gun this match. If you guys are just wondering what kind of gun it is an AUG version 1, I believe. Version 1 differs from version 3, I think it is, because it has a built-in scope. So it doesn't come with a rail, doesn't come with any attachments or anything like that. But this one has a built-in scope and a built-in foregrip. That charging handle that you're seeing there is actually just to open up the hop-up. And actually right here what I'm doing is I'm trying to get another position to see if I can spot the enemy that I had just seen again. And I think I'd noticed him laying down, and I think I needed to reload again. Now, as you can see, I'm resting my barrel on the wood just to keep it more steady and get better aim out of it. And again, I'm going to crawl forward because I noticed one of them lay down. I decided to rush a little bit, and got a little courageous. Got the blood pumping, got the adrenaline rush. And since I was close enough, I decided to start firing back with my pistol. I decided to run back to my position because it was a more defendable position, and I was noticing enemies coming up on my left side. Now, these two enemies still haven't moved from that position, so I'm still shooting at them. I'm not paying attention much to the left side, because if I do that, there's a chance that I might get flanked on the right. But in just a few moments, maybe not just a few moments, but right away here, my gun is about to malfunction. And that sound that you're hearing sounds like it's from the gearbox. But later, I had gotten the original owner to take a look, and apparently it was just a BB that had jammed, not even in the barrel. But the question that I still had was, why would it be making that sound? It sounded more like the gearbox was trying to eat a BB, or something. So I'm trying to figure it out quickly because I don't want to let the enemies on the right hand side get me, flank me, and I see a few others and decide to start shooting with my C11. And at this point I need to reload. So I go and I drop my gun off on top of this because I can't use it anymore. I don't know what's up with it. I had overlooked the BB that was just stuck there. I could have seen it and pulled it out, but I didn't see it. And seeing as how I am not using my AUG anymore, I've actually taken my phone off of it. That way I can hold it while I'm using my pistol. It's not as effective, but it gets the job done. Right now, I think I'm just asking my buddy Steve if he thinks it's a problem with the gearbox, and he agrees, yeah, it is, you should stop shooting. Otherwise, I'd probably be out of the game, because I wouldn't have any guns other than my pistols. So I decide I'm going to reload my pistol and get back in. That mask that you're seeing is actually just a makeshift. I cut up one of my shirts, and I just cut a hole in it for my nose. So, as you can see, I'm now very cautious as to my surroundings. I kind of trip a little bit, but catch myself in the end. And by now, I'm just looking over the truck, trying to get a good view. And right here, I notice that there is an enemy right behind me. There's a few right in front of me. This actually looks like it's sped up for some reason. My favorite comment right there is Steve saying, "Wow, you were so lucky you made it back here without getting shot." What I was doing there was I was shooting at a window, and then I noticed one of the enemies that I was shooting at before had moved up into a position that I was unable to hit him at. So I decide to go back, and then when I see that this area is clear, I hop in and I start to clear it a little bit more. I peek around the corner and notice a couple enemies, one of them being a sniper in the brush back behind there. And then I start firing. One of the snipers is down by at this point now, and I am out of my pistol ammo, so I need to reload. One of the best things ever made is a speed loader. Now, I have a teammate to my right now. I told him to cover me because I was reloading, but I'm still making sure that nobody's moving up on my left. Right now, I'm just shaking my mag because it is a staggered mag, so instead of it just being a straight line, the BBs are staggered a little bit to fit more in. And right now I'm moving back, but my video just decides to stop working. So what happened there is I had rushed, and then there was only one enemy left. I sprinted, and I got him, and we won. This game mode is a attack and defend. What we're supposed to be doing, or what my team is doing right now, is we are defending the barn that I'm in. And seeing as how I have a close range weapon, they figured I would be best suited for inside of the barn. Right now I'm spotting some enemies over near the tree line, and there's a tower off over here, and I'm just making sure that he is clear over there.
Tower, you clear?
I didn't get a reply. He must not have heard me, so I decided to go back to this window.
Also, it's raining a little bit.
A teammate just in front of me, in front of the tire pile there. Right now he's having a little bit of gun problems. He does a lot of gun modifications, and this is his fourth motor to break. He has been firing too much, too fast today, and it has only been 3 hours since we had started. So as he is fiddling around, I'm thinking that he's just reloading or something, but I am still covering him. That white speck that you see is actually a riot shield. They had given the attackers riot shields, and right now he had told me that his gun was broken, so I bring him my C11 and attempt to give him some CO2 for it. He refuses, and so I go back to my position. When this game had started, it had started drizzling a little bit. First rain of the season, yay! And what you're seeing down there is actually a sword for anybody who is defending the barn to use in case of an enemy getting in. And right there, that was John rushing back because of his gun malfunctioning, and him just needing to get back. Right there, he's just going to grab one of the pistol that's also in here for the defender. He's just gonna stay in here and defend while we wait for any enemies to actually get up to us. I decide to move up to his position and just start doing whatever I can. So I notice an enemy pop up to the right of the riot shield here, and also some enemies holding up a piece of plywood over there. Again, my gun is more of a close range gun, so I am unable to reach them. But not only to add to that, but just to add on to that, my battery starts to die. It is an older battery, along with the fact that it's an older gun, and I start testing it to see just how low it's going. And I decide, screw it, I'll try and reload, maybe that's the issue. And at this point I realize that it is not my magazine. This is just me taking my phone off of the holster that it has. And I find a nice little spot to put my gun.
Alright,
So I'm done with the AUG, but I'm going to be using my C11 and this nice thing that I just picked up,
C11. And a nice little gun that was left in here.
which is a gas blowback.
Yeah, it's a gas blower.
It is full steel, gas blowback, and very fun to use. It has a a staggered magazine basically, but it holds double capacity. And right now I'm just checking it. Right now, I am just staying here and waiting for more, but my teammates have moved up. There's one of them near the trees right now, and there's still one at the tower that I was yelling to, and I also believe there's one inside of the building just in front of me. This game was actually an unlimited respawn. For attackers, it was a 30-second respawn, and for defenders like me, it was a 45-second respawn. I didn't want to stay back here with no action, but it was probably best idea as just in case. Seeing as how I would be the last resort, it was just the best idea. So you can see one of my teammates running back. He needed to go and grab one of the guns that we had left behind on our side. Sorry, that he had left on his on our side. And at this point, I'm noticing, or not noticing, but at this point, raindrops are starting to hit the camera, so it is going to make it a little more blurry, but it shouldn't affect the overall quality of the video because it seems to be shitty anyways. Now that teammate just ran back to that position, and this teammate is moving back up. That is John, and he grabbed one of his other guns so that he can continue playing.
One moved up behind the wall.
Now, with him moving up, he is starting to notice that we've taken most of the field. So he decides to sprint forward some more, go towards the trees, and make his way towards the windmill, I think it is. One of the enemy, one of them has just been hit and is walking back to their spawn, while John moves up some more up I can't talk right now. Up onto the windmill. Right now I am just trying to fire and kind of keep a little bit of cover covering fire for my allies. Again, there's still an enemy off to the right of the riot shield. Um, Luckily, I haven't actually been shot at much this game. I've only been shot at 2 times. I think there were 2 salvos. Now, I believe in just a moment here, my other teammates are going to start moving up again. And if I am correct, that is Matt, and he is one of the scariest people you'll meet in these games. He's not the best with the guns. He is best with sneaking up behind you and taking you out stealthily. Now you can see a teammate crawling forward, and that probably being Matt. And as he does that, the enemy that's holding the riot shield moves off to the left, and simultaneously takes out Matt. We also have another teammate moving up on the right side, going towards the windmill as well. And then the teammate from the tower also moves up. Now, I am left back here, and everybody else is up there. There are no other enemies really pushing forward. They are suppressed too heavily to push forward, and basically Matt calls the game. And because I didn't get footage of the final game because my AUG had run out of batteries, there was no extra for me to borrow. I had just dual-wielded my C11 and my M1911, if that is even what it was. And going akimbo is not always the best idea, but it is if you want to get to somewhere fast. So in the next game, teams are switched. We are attackers and they are defenders. So Matt, who was just walking back, he decided to grab a riot shield and push up into the building. We all had our positions, and mine was to... My job was actually to sprint forward and take the building, seeing as how I was going akimbo. Unfortunately, I was not the only one going akimbo, and one of my enemies got to the building just as I did. We had a short burst of fighting in a small corridor, and then he ducked behind the same wall that I was at, just on the opposite side. So I started going through the doorway slightly. I had my gun pointed forward, my gun going in first, and he shot me right in the thumb, which in turn made my hand jolt off to the direction that he was at and shoot once, just as a reaction. Of course, it doesn't actually count as a hit, but it still hurt. So after respawning and changing out the gas in my C11, I run up again and go towards the building, and halfway towards even making it to the building, a door opens and I am lit up. I take one to the chin, one to the ring finger, or sorry, the middle finger of the same hand, and one to the cheek slash jawbone area. And we actually turned out winning that game. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more like this, again, like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.